create your own stuff, it's an easy, simple way to charge your work. Like, it automatically charges your work with your intentions, because that's what art is. You set an intention for what you want to make and you bring it to life. So if you already have a creative or a spiritual practice, over here they go hand in hand. I want to show you how to weave some magic into rituals and routines that you already have, that you already do on a daily basis. Show you how to use your practice as more than just self-expression, but as a form of ritual, manifestation, and channeling, and so much more, in ways that are much more simple than you'd expect. And you can do this with any medium, because I do ceramics, painting, I make clothes, I make jewelry, I make earrings, and I write, I make music, I write, I sing. So this is not limited to one medium or practice. It even comes down to the way that I run my business. My entire store and my entire life is a spell. Like, my logo is a sigil. I restock on equinoxes and solstices. My artwork aligns with seasonal themes. So if you are an artist, you can enchant your own life, your own business, your own career, your own relationship, whatever it is, whatever aspect of your life you want to enhance. You can enchant it with your own practice in a way that is unique to you. And I think that is so cool and so beautiful. Okay, let's get into it. But before we get into it, I just want to cleanse the space a little bit. Today we are cleansing with Luz, the starseed. So this is one of my handmade incense holders, and she enchants your smoke, your cleansing intentions with interstellar, celestial, cosmic, divine energy and stars. So this incense holder is definitely for the star seeds, for those connected to a higher power, and it really enhances your cleansing with that essence. So let me go ahead and enchant our space with this, which brings me right into my first point. Enchanting or handcrafting things you already use in your practice. Cleansings or your rituals are at your altar. So think tarot cards, incense holder. Creating your own incense holders or tarot cards are things you use on a day-to-day basis. I'll get into some more examples later, but this is for things you use in like your spiritual practice. Really enhances like your intentions. For example, I make, and I sell these on my Etsy shop, but I make these like handmade incense holders with different intentions. You know, basic like witchy magical stuff is like, I think it's banish, cleanse, protect. And this is like kind of like after you cleanse and you have your blank, you know, canvas, you've gotten rid of the energy you don't want, and then you set the intentions and call in the energy you do want. And so these incense holders are a way of calling in the energies you do want. So the sun calls in, like, you know, the divine masculine energy, brightness. I'm also giving away this one for the summer solstice celebration and as a 3K giveaway. So you can go ahead and subscribe if you're interested in possibly winning this friend and enchanting your summer cleansings and summer intentions with him. But I also have this one. Her name is Elderflower, and she enchants your cleansing intentions with grounding, cyclical, abundant, feminine energy like Mother Earth. So speaking of incense holders, this is another one I have. And it's a cone incense holder. And so the incense holder goes in here. This I made with ceramics. And also, just to preface, this is going to be a theme throughout all of these different ways. Basically making your own tools, or, you know, wearable things or objects, whatever things that you use, making your own stuff. You're basically manifesting when you do this already. Like, when you create your own stuff, it's an easy, simple way to charge your work. Like, it automatically charges your work with your intentions, because that's what art is. You set an intention for what you want to make and you bring it to life. Okay, and you're working with your own hands here. It's infused with your own unique essence as well. Like, it's powerful. It's powerful. I hope that makes sense. Okay, so the cone incense goes in here. It's a little messy in there. And then you burn it and it comes out the chimney. And this one enhances my cleansings with a bit of magic, like very mystical, enchantress, you know, energy. Ceramic coasters. I haven't finished making these kind of got messed up, but I like, you can carve sigils or significant symbols or imagery into your things that you use. This is really good for ceramic artists and sculptors and people who make functional art. So take a look at this. So I have these coasters, right? And you can use color magic as well when you're choosing your colors for these things. Green and brown is like, you know, grounding, earthly, abundant, things that really resonate with me. So I have the moon, on this one. This is also tattooed on the back of my arm. And I have the sun on this one, which is tattooed on the back of this arm too. So like, these sigils have strong personal resonance for me, which means they're going to do big communication with my subconscious. And this one is just some leaves. But these are little like tiles. I'm going to turn them into coasters, but I never finished them because I don't like them that much. Like the underglaze kind of got messed up. This technique is a little challenging for me, like getting it. Anyways, so yeah, so think about like when you put your drink on those coasters, you can, you know, I don't know if anyone has heard of this, but you can charge your water. Water has memory. Yeah, you can speak to your water, charge it in several different ways before you drink it, and or when you take a spiritual bath or a shower or brush your teeth or do your skincare. Okay, so if you put your cup of water on top of this coaster, easy way to charge your water. So right, using your ceramics to charge things. So here I have this ceramic box. This is one of the first ones I made, so it's not that good, but everything fell out. But I put my candles in there. I think they fell out when I picked it up, but you can charge your candles in here. Easy way, I'm telling you. This, using your art practice, is the easiest way to charge your intentions. I think when I think of charging or setting intentions, I think of sitting, manifesting. These are easy. This is easy ways to do it, and it's powerful because you are sitting in kind of a meditative state when you create. And so take advantage of that time you do in your creative practice, and your stuff is already charged, especially ceramics. Ceramics are cleansed with fire twice, made literally from the earth. So your spell, your intentions are already grounded. You see what I'm saying? Magic. Okay, so spell boxes, carving sigils, symbol or relevant symbols that mean a lot to you in your ceramics. Charging candles, herbs, whatever you want in your ceramics. I believe my last ceramic example is spell boxes. So this one has this. It has a little sigil on the bottom. I'm trying not to give y'all, you know, you got to keep your intention secret. And it has my signature sun sigil on the top. Sorry, I can't move it around too much. I'm not going to open it. It has my magic in it. But if you ever heard of like a mojo bag, basically, or a spell, it's like a mojo bag is a form of root work. It dates back to like African American slaves who brought some of their practices from the motherland, from home, combined it with some things they learned from the Native Americans, and you know, that's where root work kind of. So mojo bag is you throw some herbs, some rocks in there, some intentions in there for different things in a bag. But with a spell box, like, think about how powerful that is. It's made from clay. It's made with your own hands, your own essence, your own intentions on how you wanted the box to look. You know what I'm saying? You were in your meditative, creative state when you made it. So if you're a ceramic artist, take your practice to the next level with these tips, okay? Now, moving on to the next tip for like functional artists who make functional art, things that you already use on a daily basis. So outside of the spiritual stuff, you know, boxes, earrings, clothes, stuff like that. Now, I personally paint clothes, so you can paint sigils like on your clothes. For example, I said that my logo is a sigil. And what is a sigil? It's hard to explain a sigil, but it's basically just a symbol that represents something important to you, or an intention that you want, or something you want to call in, and it kind of bypasses your subconscious mind. Bypasses your conscious mind, communicates directly with your subconscious, because if it's not like super logically interpreted. Your conscious mind can't be like, oh, that's not true, blah, 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 you know, can't create the same resistance. So as I said, my logo is, I can't even find, oh, here we go. My logo is a sigil. And every time I see it, it reminds me of my intentions, okay? It's tattooed on my back, too. You see how everything is tying together, how my whole life is a spell? Okay? But anyways, yeah. So, I do this also. I make jewelry and earrings. So, I turn my jewelry and earrings, I'm handcrafting my own talisman. And a talisman is something wearable, like a necklace. It could be anything, though, like a pair of jeans or anything that is charged with a specific feeling or intention. And the way I charge things like clothing or whatever, for example, it could be perfume, it could be anything, is like, for example, I have like, for example, if there's a song that you love, and let's say you listen to that song while you were on vacation, and now every time you listen to it, it reminds you of your vacation. Now you can listen to that song as a talisman if you want, when you want to call in that same feeling you had on vacation. Or if you wore this super beautiful outfit that you felt super beautiful in, and you went out and had a super fun night and felt super flirty, and people kept approaching you in this outfit. Now that outfit, you can wear that outfit again and again when you want to call on that energy. Does that make sense? So I create earrings, and they're like wearable intentions, basically. Wearable symbols of your intentions, of your desires, wearable reminders. Yeah, and they're already charged. Like, you don't have to wear them anywhere. You can if you want to charge them. They're already charged because, as I said, you get in your meditative state when you create, and you already set an intention. You're like, I want it to look like this. Doesn't really matter why. Like, you're manifesting right there. You set an intention, I want it to look like this, I want to create, you do it, and you turn imagination into matter. So I have these. Oh, I have these beautiful earrings, spring stars, or celestial tears earrings. I have pins. I created these self-love elixir pins. These are one of my freebies that I give away with orders sometimes. If you hear crunching, my cat is eating. I also have, I create my own evil eye earrings sometimes. This is one variation. And for Pride this month, my themed earring release are these glass closets, for the saying the closet was made of glass. Now the intentions aligned with these art pieces, like if you don't know what an intention is, I think creation and art is already in. Sorry, my audio went out for a second, so please forgive me, but I think creation and art is already inherently spiritual. So, because as I said, it's the same thing as manifestation, turning imagination into matter, setting intentions, spell work, all of that is tied together, okay? And it's like, it's all just tools, really. The real magic is you. It doesn't even have to really be magic related or spiritual related. When you're like, for example, for these, I wanted to make them for the queer language, or saying the closet was made of glass, and that means like you weren't fooling anybody. Every, gay or queer person went through, or most of us went through this phase where we were like in denial or trying to be straight or just in the closet, not out yet, but everybody knew already, so that's for this saying. And it's a great way to represent your pride discreetly. Yeah, that's the intention that I want. I wanted people to be able to represent their identity, to celebrate their identity in a way that's discreet, in case you're somewhere that's not diverse or inclusive. You would still be able to rep this month. And yeah, that's the intention I have for that. Transparency, openness, accepting your identity. Okay, so I made those. These are same thing as lose, essentially, like for the starseeds, for the emotional beings, for the sensitives, just knowing that your emotions, your sensitivity is divine. That's the intentions for these. And yeah, for the intuitives, for the seers, yeah. And these are just classic evil eye earrings, but I just feel like they're all the more powerful because I designed them. You know, I designed an eye or a design that's most aesthetically pleasing to me. So yes, handmade things are very powerful. And of course, the self-love elixir pins, you know, putting this on a jacket or whatever. When oh my god, focus! Putting this on a jacket or whatever when I want to call in self-love, when I want to take that energy with me throughout the day, or I want this type of energy to be a theme in my day, I will wear these things. And these are also all available on my Etsy. Actually, these sold out, but I can restock them if you want. Okay, now that brings me to my next point, which is not only turning your art into wearable things, but stickable things. So think prints, stickers, cards, whatever. I particularly like stickers because I can place my intentions, replicate my intentions, something that I already made in a meditative state, already infused with the energy, and I can stick it anywhere and I can charge anything once again. So stickers you can put on your water bottle and you can charge your water. Simple stuff like this manifesting magic stuff is not complicated. You do not need all these rules, all these tools. The magic is you. The magic is you. Just get creative and intentional and yeah, with it. So I have these stickers. I love fairies, so I have fairy stickers based off of watercolor illustrations I made. And I have these flirty femme flower stickers. Happy Pride. A lot of my art is very sapphic, very femme, loving femme based. What was I gonna say? But yeah. So for these for me embody femininity, both dark and light feminine, and each character embodies femininity in a different way. So I would choose which one I want to put on my water bottle based on how I want to feel. Same for these. Each fairy embodies the feminine, embodies a different energy, you know, sexual, seductive, joyful, regal, gentle, you know. So embodying different energies. I could stick these anywhere as reminders, but on the water bottle is a good one. And these are all from illustrations I already made, as I said. And these are also in my Etsy store if you like them. And you want to enchant your own water bottle or journal or wherever you want to put them. Now this next part is less about the practical and more about like emotional healing, about processing, about shadow work, about channeling. Yeah, it's more on the emotional, internal, introspective approach to this. I have a whole video on how to use art as shadow work, as healing work to transmute traumatic experience, so I won't go too deep in it, but I'll just briefly outline some ways you can do this. So for one way is to illustrate your intentions. Now, you already do this inherently when you are creating art, because whatever idea you have in your mind of what you want to make is an intention. But you can set a specific intention, for example, for the season. So for this season, this is the intention I set. This is my celestial soul goddess, Soul SOL, okay? And for me, she is me claiming and calling in a sensual, warm, soulful, playful, expansive, feminine, sapphic summer, okay? I also have prints on my Etsy shop if you want to call in the same summer as me. And collective, you know, energy and intentions is very powerful, so the more the merrier. So this is also one of my seasonal releases. There's no wrong or right way to do this. You can illustrate a version of yourself that embodies what you want to embody, your higher self, your future self. Paint symbols of wealth, sensuality, or peace. Creating art that feels like the frequency that you are calling in is essential. You can do this. There's no wrong way to do this. Boom. So this I illustrated a while back. I kind of channeled it like I just started drawing, but it was me illustrating Ace of Cups that I wanted to call in a new romantic, a new love experience. I also made stickers on this, so I put it on like my water bottle when I want to feel flirty and fun and whatever. So this is an example of illustrating your intentions, setting your intentions, wanting to call in new love. Here's an example of doing that. Here's another example of setting an intention. This was at a time when I really needed to choose peace, when I really wanted peace, and I wanted peace of mind. So, and I wanted to let go of things that didn't serve me. So this is an intention that I set, something that I needed to hear. I drew this a while back. Now, you can also use your practice to channel higher guidance, whether that's your highest self, whether that's your spirit guides, whether that's your ancestors. You can have spirit guide your hand while you're creating. I do this through subconscious art all the time, where I just make something. Sometimes I smoke, and then I will create while I'm doing that, and that helps me create some cool stuff. I'll go deeper into this in a future video on that I'll be making on how to channel spirit and ancestral guides through art, and how to channel your higher self through your art. But I'll show you some examples of art that I made while I was in like a trance flow like state. These two pieces I made while I was under the influence. I do not know what I can say on here, but please don't ban me. I mean well. So this one, I think I want to call her the Faded Flower, or the Blossom Being, or the Sapphic Psychedelic. What y'all think? But I made this one and also this one just straight, like I just started creating and let whatever wanted to come out. This is the Celestial Council. It's about, it gave me insight on like collective awakening and like what my purpose is like as a creator here on YouTube, and how I want to aid in collective awakening and helping people awaken to their purpose and to their potential and to what they're actually capable of, and awaken to the illusions of this earth and to limiting beliefs. Okay, collectively we can all do this together. Like it's so intricate, but it talks about like the cosmic collective energy that we have on this planet. And this talks about like, I made a community post and you all beautifully interpreted her. This is one of my oracle card designs. I'm designing a deck, and she embodies like, you know, the herbal knowledge of, I don't know what I can say, the devil's lettuce. And she also embodies like stepping into full blossom unapologetically, birthing your ideas, stepping into who you are, like transformation, like full unapologetic authenticity, abundance, femininity, non-conformed, you know, restricted femininity, and just relaxing and just letting things happen and receiving. And yeah, I hope that makes sense. But this is one of my favorite pieces right now. I'll be launching prints of her soon. This one is, her name is the Woodland Walker, and this is also one of my oracle cards for the deck I'm designing. Follow me if you want to keep up and get the deck when it's ready. I think this is a version of my higher self. I think these are made years apart, and these are two different versions of the same archetype. I think I was channeling my higher self, or a spirit guide, you know, type of energy that represents, you know, divine duality, embracing the darker parts of my story, owning my full authenticity, my full story, owning my boundaries, and yeah, not feeling like I have to please, just being able to be myself and the divineness of that kind of, and many other things. And lastly, you can use art to heal, which can look like a few different things. It could mean working through something traumatic, acknowledging something traumatic, externalizing something traumatic so it loosens its grip on you. Kind of like when you suppress an emotion, when you don't talk about it, when you try and hide it, it makes the shame and the wound worse, and it doesn't allow it to heal. But when you externalize it, either through speaking about it, talk therapy, acknowledging it, journaling, you can do this with illustration or sculpting as well, and it helps aid the healing process so that it doesn't become an energetic blockage, or it doesn't become a mark on your subconscious that creates a limiting belief or a limit, or a barrier or a block in your mind and in your journey. So I do that a lot, where I externalize the negative emotion to help me work through it. This I made when I was going through a really dark time, and this is really how I felt, and it helped me to make something beautiful out of it. I also have this little fairy door I made when I was traveling in Europe and I was having a hard time. And this is a healing heart, and it's after this quote I heard that is like, if your heart is broken, plant seeds in the cracks and pray for rain. So I made this little door to represent the healing that I wanted. And so I think there are kind of like 3 steps to healing. 1, acknowledging, sitting with the wound, grieving, getting ugly, feeling your feelings. 2, transmuting that energy, kind of like the same thing, banish, cleanse, protect. 2, transmuting that energy, working through it. And then 3, setting a new intention, moving towards your future. So setting new intention, part of this healing you can do is you can illustrate a new self-concept. I have a whole video on using self-portraits to reprogram your subconscious and create a new self-concept and make you feel better about yourself. So yeah, I think that is my entire video. That is everything. That is all my tips for enchanting and weaving magic into your practice, into your entire life. If you liked any of the art in this video, I do have an Etsy shop where I sell enchanted prints, stickers, adornments, and trinkets, and handmade things for the witches, spiritualists, and sapphics out there. Sapphic is my favorite word right now, if you can't tell. I also have an ebook, a 25-page illustrated ebook dedicated to all of this, to using your art as shadow work, as identity work, to heal. So if you're an artist or a creative entrepreneur and you're still in hiding, still feeling afraid to start, still feeling afraid to pursue your purpose, to go all in on you and your journey, my ebook is full of the identity work you need for success, to dissolve fear blockages, fear of being perceived, fear of starting, fear of failure. It has remedies, mindset shifts, and medicine, and ways to use your own creative practice that you already have to work through those things and to call in the things that you want. So I have an ebook, and I also have a fairy circle email list for when I channel oracle art guidance like this girl here. And I want to share that oracle art guidance with the collective. It is like receiving divine confirmation straight into your inbox, and it's just a beautiful little fun thing. So yeah, that is all. Thank you so much for watching this video. And I want to encourage you to think about what energy you want to call in and how you want to creatively embody it. Okay, thank you so much for watching. That is all from your favorite fairy god guide, fairy god friend, and I hope this video was helpful. I hope this video resonated for you, and I hope this video inspired something in you, and I hope this video helps you in your journey and helps you enchant your life and romanticize your life and call in the things that you want. Okay, thank you. Bye.